Hey everyone, my name is Sunny and welcome to Boxed In, the series where I justify the ratings I give to movies on Letterboxd. For those who are new here, Letterboxd is a film reviewing site that I've been using since 2019 to record and document every movie I watch. Now, I've seen a lot of movies and my ratings are anything but consistent, so let's dive into why I rate these movies the way I do. It's important to understand I rate based on the idea that a bad film is better than a boring film. Like, I get more enjoyment watching a film like Shark Tale than I do watching something like The Good Dinosaur. I want to feel something when I watch a movie, and boredom does not count as a feeling. With all that said, let's look at the first movie I want to talk about.
Fred,
Bring it.
he brought it. Daphne,
I enjoy being a girl.
Shaggy,
I'm buff.
Velma,
Who's your mommy?
and Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed.
Scooby-Doo has been a staple of my life for as long as I can remember. I drag my family to the local Video Easy and get the latest direct-to-DVD Scooby-Doo movie to watch. It really was the bee's knees. I still get quite nostalgic for video rental stores, and I kind of wish they were still around. Anyway, Scooby-Doo 2 is my favourite of the live-action movies. Whilst Scooby-Doo 2002 is objectively a better film, I have so much nostalgia for the 2004 sequel. I remember on the DVD, the trailer for Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban would play, and I'd make my brother watch all the special features with me. I miss special features. We really need to bring them back, I think. I think I first saw this movie back in 2008, and before that, I spent my years watching the Scooby-Doo episodes from Scooby-Doo Where Are You? So seeing the movie with the throwbacks to the OG baddies was absolutely incredible. I was especially fond of the goat, my absolute queen, the ghost of Captain Cutler.
She will be mine.
I love Captain Cutler so much. I have a tattoo of Captain Cutler. So, the Mystery Inc. gang is back in Coolsville, where they are being honoured with their very own exhibit at the Coulsonium Criminology Museum. However, when a masked villain steals costumes of the classic monsters on display and brings them to life, the gang must come out of retirement to solve the case. Now, I love this movie. The story is goofy and fun, and the characters are so fun to watch. I love how Scooby and Shaggy have their own little side story, trying to be heroes, and then Velma's just there to tell them that she loves them just the way they are. Every character gets their moment to shine. Velma, Daphne, Shaggy, Fred, they all just have their moments and little storylines going on that make it a delight to watch. Now, the movie starts off with the opening of the museum before the pterodactyl ghost invades the museum and steals the Black Knight ghost costumes. The gang fails to stop them, and the media immediately move against the gang with their smear campaign. The gang end up fumbling around, breaking into Old Man Whittles' home, as he is the original Black Knight ghost. I actually love this detail, as the Black Knight ghost holds so much significance, with it being the first monster from the very first ever Scooby-Doo episode all the way back in 1969. Anyway, they get into more shenanigans before Shaggy and Scooby end up at the club where they get crazy. Velma denies being a lesbian and pretends to like a bozo when she clearly seems to have a thing for Daphne. Daphne and Fred also have their own little arc on the side where Fred's learning to talk about his feelings, which is admittedly pretty cute. Anyway, they do some investigating and everyone winds up at the old mining town where they find the monster-making machine, at which Scooby and Shaggy mistake for some cool DJ gear and start jamming out. Now, naturally, they bring all the monsters to life, and the gang escapes with the control panel. Pressure builds to turn the gang in, at which point they return to the mines to reverse the monster-making process and subsequently save the world. That's a pretty bare-bones breakdown, and I've missed so many cool elements, such as Daphne confronting the villain casually, Scooby rizzing up a woman, the whole cute little flashback sequence, Velma suspecting Patrick of being the bad guy, and a heap more. I love the heart and genuine care that the characters seem to have, and the movie, while goofy, has some touching moments that made my 8-year-old self pretty emotional. Like when they go to the old hideout, or when the main guys are about to get drowned in tar. Yikes. The movie is also funny as fuck.
You want to buy a box of cookies?
Excuse me. Have you heard the good news?
Yeah, there's cookies.
Well, that was my outfit, I swear.
I'm okay, Scoob. I'm good at Chink's body.
Hey! Nice job last night. Losers!
Quick, we need to think of a comeback.
What dorks?
Hey! Shut up!
Let's get one.
We love you, Velma!
Thanks.
I love her so much!
May I have a word with
This movie isn't perfect, but it is genuinely one of the most entertaining movies I've had the joy to watch. And the ending scene where Scooby rides a fire extinguisher to get rid of the monsters is peak cinema. One of my favourite scenes is when they're escaping Captain Cutler's ghost. I am really biased, but the whole sequence is really fun. I love Captain Cutler. He is baby girl.
I remember one day, maybe was the first day of my life. You came to my heart, my eyes wide open to you.
I wish I was old enough to see this in cinemas when it came out, but I'm really glad I'm able to enjoy it now. The movie isn't without its faults, but I can easily ignore them, with every second of the movie being an absolute blast. Now, on my account, I've given it a 5 out of 5, and I stand by it. My enjoyment of this film is greater than it is for a lot of other movies I've seen, and I will absolutely honour it with a 5 out of 5.
Wait, now, make it quick. Bring me the prisoner. No eating! Oh, Brutus.
Okay, this is one of those hear me out movies. Now, don't get me wrong, this movie's awful. The story is silly and the characters are all really bad, apart from the Bog King, obviously. But I really had a lot of fun with this movie, and I couldn't see myself giving it a lower rating just because of how much I found myself enjoying it. A love potion works its devious charms on fairies, elves, and the swamp-dwelling Bog King as they all try to possess the potion for themselves. So there are a few different storylines in this disastrous masterpiece. Marianne and Roland are set to get married, but Roland is a bit of a cunt and cheats on her. So Marianne girl bosses and decides that she wants to be a warrior queen. She learns sword fighting because automatically holding a sword makes you a girl boss, and I'm not gonna lie, she kind of is. In another storyline, Marianne's little sister Dawn, who is one of those ditzy girls who falls in love very easily, much to the dismay of her best friend Sunny. Yep, another Sunny. Who is one of those quote-unquote nice guys who remind me of an early season 1 Mordecai in Regular Show. He obviously likes Dawn, but she sees him as a friend, so logically he goes to the Sugar Plum Fairy to get a potion to make her fall in love with him. That's a plot point here. Now, the love potion is stored away by the Bog King, the quote-unquote bad guy who kind of has a point, since why on earth would a potion like this be allowed? Anyway, Sunny steals the potion, and then an imp steals the potion from Sunny. Shenanigans take place. Marianne girl bosses again because she don't need no man, even though her dad is kind of being an asshole and keeps telling her to get back with her ex. Dawn gets kidnapped after being sprayed with the potion, and that results in her falling in love with the Bog King, who really wants nothing to do with her. Like, he is full on just not interested. He's like, shit, how do we make her stop? How do we fix her? Now, Marianne goes to go and save her sister, so she goes after the Bog King, and alright, I cannot lie, the Bog King and Marianne have the best chemistry in this movie. Like, it is peak. I don't understand why. I think it's just how the characters are just so anti-love that they just work. And I love that for this film. It is just so fun. Anyway, back to the movie. Misunderstandings happen. Dawn is cured. Marianne gets sprayed with the love potion by Roland, but she pulls a no you and fucking smacks him across the head. The Bog King and Marianne realize that they kind of like each other, And Sonny somehow, despite trying to pretty much force the girl he likes to get with him, gets the girl. Now, based on that description, you may think I dislike this movie, but I love it! Okay, its music is really good, and the scenes are so unserious, and the characters, yeah, they're really poorly written, but they're kind of fun. This movie is an absolute delight from beginning to end, and when I watch it, I am fully switched on. I am giving it my 100% attention. Strange Magic, it's a disaster. The songs are awkward, the acting is really mediocre, and the story itself is an absolute disaster. I will admit though, it's part of its charm. I think that this movie is great in the sense that it is so bad, it is good. Like on my first watch, I rolled my eyes every time they started to sing, and yet for some reason, I had a bunch of the songs in my Spotify Wrapped like top 100. Strange Magic is a terrible movie, but I absolutely adore it. It's bonkers and entertaining from the beginning to the very end. If you haven't had the absolute privilege to watch it, please check it out because it is just so much fun. I can't believe this was meant to be Star Wars for girls. Now, that is the end of this episode of Letterboxed In. I hope you enjoyed. I will try and make more of these, but don't hold your breath. I upload once in a blue moon. I've only got one other video on the channel, so if you want to know my thoughts on Romeo and Juliet, please feel free to give that a watch. Otherwise, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.